having the Ali name is a big deal. But, obviously people are out there. And I know you say you don't read comments and stuff, but people always have an opinion, right?
Yes.
They're all
I
like,
read the fun ones.
you read the fun ones. But there are plenty of people out there that say you're just clout chasing off of the Ali name.
Yes.
How do you feel about that when they say that?
I didn't know that was a thing. When I got into boxing, I assumed that people had the same respect for my grandfather that I did. And so with that in mind, there's no way, if you have respect for my grandfather, that you would think his grandson's getting into boxing for clout.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
like me, for example, I absolutely adore Mike Tyson. I've loved Mike Tyson for years. If his grandson, if I 30 years from now, 20 years from now, if his grandson's got into boxing, I would never question his intentions of like, is he getting into boxing for the money or for the fame? I would never do that because I have too much respect for Mike. So I think anyone who's hating on me, there's definitely some little hate towards my grandfather, because you can't respect someone's. You can't respect someone and then disrespect their family.
How do you deal when you see some of those comments? Because it's inevitable sometimes. We're human.
It is. I'll screenshot the good ones and I'll save them. But for like the bad ones that like someone that says like, oh, Nico's just clout chasing, that's not even funny. You gotta work harder, so I don't even pay attention to those.
Have you noticed though, as your fights begin to progress, that like you're starting to get a more positive sentiment like from people? People are like really impressed with your improvement from your pro debut to now. Like there's a huge difference.
Yeah, no. So the pro debut, I remember a lot of people were like, who is this guy? Why this and that? But now it's completely different. What I thought of myself never changed. I was just like, wow, people are actually starting to, open their eyes. It's, about time. But I would if it was me and I was a fan of boxing, I would never be on the side of the doubters, because the doubters end up looking stupid when the person they're doubting exceeds all expectations. Never be a doubter, because you'll end up looking stupid. I'd rather believe in someone too much and then be let down than be that guy who never believed in them at all.
You busted out the shuffle, the famous shuffle. What was in your head when what were you thinking like when you said, I'm just gonna do the shuffle and I'm just gonna knock him out? Did you imagine it?
No, not at all. Like, in looking back at the shuffle, I was like, oh man, I wish I would have practiced it. It wasn't in my mind, it wasn't smooth as I'd liked it to be. But yeah, he was talking trash, and I feel like I bring out the best in everybody I fight. Like, every single person I fought, from the first person I fought, I've watched their film. They looked like, let's just numbers wise, let's say they looked a 7 out of 10. Yeah. 7 out of 10. Mm-hmm. And then when I fight them, they turn into a 9 somehow. So I bring out the best in these guys, and he was just talking just crazy. He was just talking trash, and that made it fun. That made it entertaining, and I just did a little bit of showboating before the fight ended.
And then your last fight over at in New York,
yes.
You were getting the Ali chants.
Yes,
in New York.
In New York, in MSG,
get chills.
Yes. I didn't get chills, but I'm sure my mom did.
Yeah.
I mean, looking back at it, I'm like, that's pretty awesome, but it's so surreal in the moment. I don't think about any of that. But him too, he was talking crazy in the ring. He was talking crazy.
Getting to that.
Yeah, it's like I bring out a different like animal in these guys. It's crazy.
He showed a lot of respect for you in the fight, because I was working your fight ringside.
Yes.
And I heard him vividly say, "It's an honor to fight you, bro."
It's an honor to fight you, bro.
Yeah, I know.
What were you thinking when he said that?
This is crazy, because some people are like, why would he say that in the ring? And I'm like, guys, it's happened before. It's pretty. What?
When?
Caleb Plant and Canelo.
Oh,
yeah.
But that was
saying
different,
stuff.
though.
Yeah.
I know.
Caleb was like, funny. He was like, yo, I'm actually really good at fighting, right?
Yeah, but it's like, it's still like this stuff happens. This isn't the first time, but I would never do it. If I was fighting Joe Lewis's grandson, I would never say that in a fight because it would give the other guy confidence. But yeah, that was very, very interesting.
I don't think I would do that. Would you do that, Ricky?
No, because that I feel like you look mentally weak.
No,
and you're showing a little too much.
At that point, I believe he was beaten. I don't know what round that was, but he was already mentally beaten at that point. And when he was saying that, he was just bloodied and he was a mess. But yeah,
I heard it. He said it right in front of me. I'm like, this dude did not just say that.
Yeah, I was saying that too. I was like, I just shook my head and laughed, like almost like shut up, like stop
like you're embarrassing yourself.
Yeah.
Please don't. Wait, when can you tell when a fighter is mentally when they're just defeated? Like for him specifically, when could you tell? Yeah, he's done.
I think it was for him. It's. I hate to sound like super like cliche, but it's an eye thing. It's a look in their eye.
It is. Yes.
In the first round, I hit him with a hook, and he backed up, and he was just kind of like blinking a certain way, and it was almost like I'm shocked. Some of my opponents come up to me after the fights, most of my opponents actually, and they say, I wasn't expecting you to be that good, and I'm just like, why would you never underestimate a fighter?
Oh yeah,
never underestimate a
rule
fighter.
Number one.
But like the guy that the first round knockout here in Vegas, after the fight, the dude was like, "Oh, I completely looked past you. I didn't think you were going to be any good at all." And I'm like,
Rookie
that's
mistake.
mistake. That's
rookie
that's,
mistake.
Yeah,
why would you do
That's
that?
a
It's just dumb. If I'm fighting a dude on the street, I'm gonna treat him like he's Mike Tyson, because anybody's got a shot.
All it takes is one punch.
Yeah. So yeah, and it's bad. You quickly mentally lose if you expect someone to be less than and then they shock you.
Oh yeah.
If you get shocked like that, then that's a little mental loss right there.
At what age did it really hit you? Like, oh, like my grandfather's is that dude?
I think it was when I was 12. He had a 70th birthday here in Vegas, and all the people that like I would watch on TV or listen to their music, they were all there. So I was like, wow, they're all singing happy birthday to him. So I think it was then I was like, yeah.
Who were some of those people?
Snoop Dogg was there. Mainly
man.
the biggest one that I knew was you've seen the Hangover movies, right?
Yeah.
Of course.
Mr. Chow from the Hangover movies?
Oh, yeah.
I was
a
little kid watching Mr. Chow. I was dying laughing at him, and he was there singing happy birthday to my grandfather. So I was like,
God.
I was just like shook by that. So that's when I knew that I was like, hey, this guy, people know him. But Stevie Wonder was there.
What?
P. Diddy was there. There were so many people. Samuel L. Jackson. Like, yeah, no, like any big name you can think of, they were there. It was crazy.
You were how old?
I was 12.
Oh my God.
I was 12. And I knew all those people, so I was like, this is crazy. This is weird.
You got to go see Mike Tyson, and
Yes.
he took you to his pigeon coop, which is Mike's staple.
Yes.
What was it like being in that place with him and, checking out his pigeons with him? Because that's such a sacred thing for Mike. So to be in there with him and share that moment with him, what was that like?
People don't know how close we are to Mike. He's been there from the very start. Like when people say day ones, he's legitimately been a day one. When I think it was for my third amateur fight, they called my mom and was like, hey, Mike heard Nico's fighting. I don't know how, and he wants to go. And so he was there at my third amateur fight when nobody cared that I was fighting. Like, and we've got a little video of it. The crowd was empty, and it was just him and my family, really. So he's awesome. So when I went to his house and got to see the coop, it was awesome. And I actually didn't like pigeons. Like I had a little bit of a fear of pigeons. But I have a newfound respect for those things. They're just because he made them seem like they were. I don't know. They weren't. They were cool. They were cool. Before I didn't like them, but I respect the pigeon game now. Yeah. And he was handling them crazy.
Yeah, I bet.
They listened to him.
God, yeah.
Yeah. The coop was huge. It was a house. It was basically a house for birds. It was bigger than where we're sitting right now. Like it was big.
That's crazy.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
I feel like I would respect Mike's pigeons too, so that's fair. That's
Yeah, no,
that's really special. That's awesome. That's cool that he's like literally part of your family, you know?
Yeah,
that's
no,
awesome.
we've grown closer over the years. Yeah, because he's just, I was there before he fought Roy Jones. I went to go see him train, which was crazy because I'd never seen him train before. And yeah,
Mike was in shape for that too.
He sure
was.
He
was in crazy shape.
He sure was. But yeah, no, I love him and his wife Kiki. I love them so much, and just his family. I have so much respect for him, so much.